Welcome San Diego Rotary Club 33 members, our honored guests, and those watching on Zoom to the 33rd oldest, the 10th largest, and the first best Rotary Club in the world. Please join me in congratulating Miro Copic from the class of 2012 for his exceptional leadership in developing our Reimagining San Diego Rotary strategic plan. Miro is here to tell us about San Diego Rotary's exciting future. Please welcome Miro Copic.
All right, well, hello everyone. Are you ready for the 2-hour presentation? All right. You know, it was interesting when President Michael asked me to chair this task force, it was clear that we have not had a strategic plan or a multi-year strategic plan for Rotary in its history. So this is the first strategic plan that's out there, and I'm very excited to give you guys a little bit of sense of what we did and how this task force drove it. So today I want to talk a little bit about the process we used, because it was a collaborative process that involved everybody, the facts, the core principles that we used to define what reimagination means, and the key objectives. So let's talk a little bit about, when we laid this out, what are the objectives of this strategic plan? We know that in the future, we want to have a bold vision for Rotary. We want to enhance the organization's missions and align the upcoming 3 presidents in continuity in terms of this plan. And because we want to make sure that we as a club have better impact, better reach, better engagement, and the ability to adapt to the future, this is why we did it. And we did it in a collaborative way. We got input, we facilitated dialogue, and this is kind of the result. So, how we did it. We did 3 phases. We did a lot of discovery and analysis. So this team that we put together was exceptional. We'll get them to stand up in a second. We then kind of collaborated and really drove these ideas into a strategic plan. Just to let you know how much outreach we had over 126 people that we interviewed either through a survey or one-on-one interviews. And I'd like to, our strategic planning task force, I'd love for you guys to stand up, because the amount of work that they have done is exceptional, and I want to recognize them. So they're here on the right-hand side. Please, you guys stand up. Thank you so much for all the work that you did. I know a couple of them are looking at this on Zoom, so thank you. Thank you for really a lot of brain power. So let's talk a little bit about how we laid this out from a strategic planning perspective. When we really condensed all this information into a strategic planning workshop, we asked the team for 3 things. We said, how do we define reimagining? That's been a big thing for President Michael all along. How do we develop those 3-year objectives? And ultimately, what are the strategic areas that we need to consider? And you can see that long list over there. And we let people's imaginations kind of run free. We said, let's think of big things. What should we change? What should we keep? And what should we test? And that yielded a pretty compelling strategic plan. And, and we broke it up into 3 groups, each led by our incoming president. So everyone had their voices heard, and this is how we felt after the session. We were all very excited overall. So, but before I go into what the final result was, I do want to share with you a little bit of the survey that you guys took, so you guys know what we were working with as we started doing this program. First and foremost, we as an organization are satisfied with being in Rotary Club 33. 4.3 out of 5 points, pretty good. As laying in on my academic side, that is a high B, not a B plus, that's a high B. So that would suggest that the implication is that we might have 15% attrition every year. We should have less. Secondly, we want to understand how involved all of us are. And the good news is that, we're all involved with Rotary and not other service organizations, but on average, we are involved in 2.3 other nonprofits outside of Rotary. Did you guys know that? And what's worse, well, great for all of you, is that 55% of you are either on the board or an officer or heavily engaged. And the chart on the right says that we are a little bit stressed at our commitments. 54% of us feel like, we're juggling a lot of balls, and sometimes we have to make those trade-offs. But To President Michael's credit, he always talks about Net Promoter Score. We had a Net Promoter Score of 62 out of 100. And to keep it in perspective, Apple Computer has a Net Promoter Score of 85, and it's one of the highest in the world. If you're a marketer like me, over 30, you're doing pretty okay. So 62 is excellent. And we finally asked you guys, hey, what are the top issues facing Rotary Club 33? And there were 3 issues. Number 1, we want to make sure we have consistent, relevant experiences for members of multiple generations. We have from young Rotarians to emeriti Rotarians, everyone has to feel engaged. Second, we want to maintain the quality of the speakers. And third, we want to make sure that there's meaningful engagement opportunities like we just saw at Rotarians at Work for us overall. But Rotarians on the whole are always thinking about how do we renew the club with new members. So now let's talk about the plan itself. So when we built the plan, we built it on a couple of assumptions. We want to be practical, we want to think big. We want to say, how can we innovate? How can we push the boundaries? How can we be a leader while acknowledging our history and our traditions? So we kind of laid out some facts and assumptions. We know that on the whole, service organizations are struggling. We know that our club's been around for 113 years. We're one of the top 10 clubs in the world, but our net membership has been declining, and that we have multiple generations in our club to address. So that's the facts. The assumptions that we came up with to say what's going to power this plan going forward is that, you know, as business leaders, we can all learn and adapt regardless of age. We can be open to new ideas. We're committed to growth. And while service is critical, it is clear that our ability to network and build those relationships that will help us be better stewards in the community is really important, and we want to walk away from all these events inspired and informed. All of this was backed up by a number of Rotary principles, and here's where we talk about reimagining, and I want to highlight a few of these things because this took a lot of discussion. We want to bring in new ideas. Every administration going forward is going to have a minimum of one big, bold idea. We want to really focus on membership, onboarding, and support to make sure those new members stay involved and we don't have attrition. We want to break the traditional lunchtime model. A couple of weeks ago, we were all at the Jackie Robinson Family YMCA. We'd love to do some fun and interesting things to kind of keep us on our toes. We want to rethink our programs to inspire, engage current members, and attract new members. And you know what? We want to encourage everyone to try something new. Go outside your comfort zone to really understand the camaraderie and breadth of experience that Rotary has to offer. And at the end of the day, a little less process, a little more fun. Now, the last thing that I'll lay out is the plan and objectives. We will have this recorded. We're going to record this and post it on our on a YouTube channel, so you can, if you want to know all the details, we'll provide them along with the strategy and tactics. Two objectives I want to highlight. Number 1, we want to have a net increase of 10 new members after attrition. And number 2, we want to improve our digital profile, not just our website and our social media standing, but having an app so we can be connected on the phone every day, and by the end of 2026, Wendy Urashima-Khan is committing to making that happen. The last thing that I want to say is from a next step perspective, and President Michael, we're presenting the highlights today. We're going to do a full presentation. It'll be available by May 30th. And our next incoming president, Mia Herensky, had already thought of a lot of the ideas that we came up with, and she's going to be able to present that on her inauguration day, and we'll just continue to adjust and plan. So let's, as I say, let's get to work.
Hold up. Before Miro leaves right now, can I get a motion to approve this strategic plan? Can I get a second? All in favor? Please give Miro a real big hand for all the work he's put into leading this effort. Miro, thank you so much. That's Rotarians at Work. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.